What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron, and today we're going to be doing some rest of season talk. Now, initially, I was just going to go over, 5 players that have risen the last, 7 days, 5 players that have fallen in my rest of season rankings, but Underdog hit us with an absolute gift here. Because instead of me just, talking about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, not really helping all of your fantasy teams, they dropped Best Ball Resurrection, which is a best ball tournament that they're doing where you can sign up from now through week 6. And as always, Underdog sponsors this show, this whole channel. So if you are new to Underdog, make sure you hop on there, download the app, the link is in the description. Use promo code ROM when you deposit $10 for a free $10 on top of that. Or, you deposit anything over $10, you get a $10 bonus. And this is dope because it really makes you think, from week 6 through 4 or week 6 through the finals, who do I want on my team? And that's going to give you like one of the more like pure rest of season rankings that you can find, where you're going to find, I even have my own rest of season rankings, but I think that maybe the best rest of season rankings out there is going to be the ADP, because people are going to be on here doing drafts consistently, and that's going to move the ADP around and really see how the market feels about these players rest of season. So we're going to hop in a draft, and I'm going to hit the intro, and then when I come back, we'll start looking at the players, who's going where. I haven't done a single one of these drafts yet, so it's going to be kind of weird, and I'm just going to talk through it with you guys so I can cover as many players rest of season as possible. Now, with that being said, make sure you go down below, subscribe, leave a like, hit the link in the description so you can hop into one of these best ball drafts as well, because if you're doing, you're 0-3 in your home league, something like that, you can go hop into one of these drafts and kind of save your season. Now, with that being said, let's go.
Thirsty, trying to choose. I know I'm critical. My nitty bag.
And we are back. I'm actually so happy that worked. I hope that worked, but I have this software that I use for these when it's like a one-take Drake, not just my camera. And I gotta actually get there we go. Now we're down here. All right, bet. Everything looks good. We are live from the 105 spot. I believe it's just a $10 tournament, which is great. What's the payout structure? So it's 0.5 PPR. For those guys that don't know, we are in season, so not everyone knows what best ball is. You get 1 quarterback, 2 running backs. It should be here. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a flex, tight end, 10 bench spots. And every week that it just plays the best lineup possible. And I think first place gets $20,000. So Derrick Henry goes first up. And I'll take my L on Derrick Henry, man. Derrick Henry, for me, I think today is the 101. I don't think that's up for debate at all. And he's shown to us. I mean, can we look at his game log? Damn, we can't look at his game log, sadly. But that puts us in a predicament. I think McCaffrey's a little bit high here. If I got to be honest with you guys, I think McCaffrey, especially in a best ball tournament where you're going to be taking I guess it starts week 6. Man, if it starts week 6, then you could honestly make the case for McCaffrey right here. I'm trying to think, right? Because he's supposed to be back by week 6. It's week 4 this week. It's week 5 next week. I mean, I feel like maybe I'll be an absolute square for going McCaffrey, but I'm going McCaffrey. I'm going McCaffrey for the pure fact that, like I said, this is a 6 through, it's not starting this week. So you have 2 weeks to get into. If it's week 6 and on, I don't know. I don't know if I'm overthinking things here, but yeah, I would go Christian McCaffrey there. But I think Dalvin Cook makes sense. Alvin Kamara makes sense. But if it starts week 6, then I would go McCaffrey as early as 101. As early as 101. He's shown that he is that guy. Can I look at his stats here? No, I can only look at their stats before we actually get things going. I like that it shows where. Now, is this his ADP? Okay, so that is his ADP. I was wondering if RB5, so it doesn't show his current stats, which does suck. So if I want to look up somebody's stats, I'll look it up here. Let's go. Hopefully I don't expose myself with these bookmarks. I already know I'm going to be exposing myself with these bookmarks, but it's fine. I don't care. Say what you want about me and how I live my life. I think it's just stupid links in there. So I'm looking at, because I want to be kept up with who is, yeah. So, I mean, Aaron Jones. Why is Cordell Patterson so high? Oh, the average. Aaron Jones is RB2. DeAndre Swift is RB3. Man, where is DeAndre Swift going in this ADP? I think you can make the case that DeAndre Swift to be a first round pick at this point. Maybe around here. So you have Eckler, Jones, Devontae Adams goes. Kupp, wow, Kupp at a 12.7 ADP. I think that makes sense though. I think after Adams, Hill, and Stephon Diggs, like it is Cooper Kupp time. The guy, it's been insane, man. Like if you told me like 3 weeks ago that Cooper Kupp would be tearing it up in this kind of fashion. I mean, he is averaging a whole. I mean, he's one of only 2 wide receivers averaging 20 points per game in half PPR. This is what the format is, half PPR, and he's averaging 4 more than second place, and then also like 7 more than third place. Jeez, man, that's genuinely insane. It's insane. So Zeke goes 111, Naji Harris goes 12. I think, dude, Zeke at the 111, I gotta be honest with you guys. Zeke at the 111 feels like about right. That's where I had him. That's where I had him in draft season. When I said I was low on Zeke, it's because I didn't like him top 5. I had him in that early second to like 112, 201, 202 range. That's all I was saying. All right, we almost on the clock again. We have Chubb. Wow, I think Darren Waller at 14.5 makes a lot of sense. I wonder if Hawkinson is over Kittle. This ADP is really crazy to look at, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, so Hawkinson's over, Mixon, Saquon. I think that I would have Saquon a lot higher than that. Okay, so he goes 203. I think, man, I think I would maybe have Saquon here ahead of Zeke and ahead of Naji because he's healthy now. He looked good last week. He's only going to get better as the season goes on. He is the Saquon that we know. He's going to get more. I mean, Zeke's in a better offense, but Saquon's going to get a lot more opportunity than Zeke. I guess you could put Naji there. The efficiency looks tough, but I mean, like, he did just get 19 targets in a game. How did he do through the first 2 weeks is my question on Naji. It's hard to really contextualize everything here. Oh, okay. Well, actually, we're picking soon. So let me. Oh, and now. All right. So that was tough. So Hopkins, Metcalf, Jefferson. We're gonna go Swift here if he gets to us. I think Swift is better. I think I'd rather have Swift than these wide receivers. It does get really close though. Man, it gets close. And it also depends, like, do I want to go with the hero RB strategy? Do I just stack up? I think, I would go. Man, so I'm not usually this guy who drafts RBs early. Like, you guys know me as the guy who hates drafting wide receiver or running backs. Just making sure we're recording. Thank God we are. But when you give us a first peek, and I can see the running backs that have legendary upside. Oh, Swift goes right before us. Man, I think I go Jonathan Taylor because the way that these are formatted, I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor here, and I'm going to explain why in a second. The way that these are formatted, right? So let me see the tournament structure. So we have week 6 through 14, round 1, quarterfinals week 15, conference finals the big game. So what ends up happening is that you have a 1 week just kind of like free for all, week 15, week 16, week 17. Now, I love wide receivers, but the way you get there, the way that you win that was last year, Herzig that won. I wish I had the screenshot, but the way that Herzig won is he had Montgomery, he had Alvin Kamara, he had Chris Carson, and he had Tony Pollard. Those were his 4 running backs. And when you string together Montgomery and Alvin Kamara, who were crazy down the stretch, that's how you win things. And McCaffrey, obviously, is McCaffrey, but Jonathan Taylor went on a tear on the back end of the season last year. I think that he is capable of doing that again. So if I can time McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor, these guys take over the league type weeks at the end of the season, I think that is how you win it all with those running back points. Now, of course, I do love my wide receivers if I can get Devontae Adams early or whatever, but I think Jonathan Taylor is firmly for me just ahead of guys like Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf, even though I know it has been frustrating with Jonathan Taylor. Wow, so Amari Cooper. God, this is tough now too. This is so tough just going in here blind. Wow, Calvin Ridley in the 3rd round, fellas. How are we feeling about that? I think that's probably about right, sadly. Lockett, DJ Moore. So this could be another running back here. I don't like the options though. I will be honest. Probably going to just really push things pretty crazy with the running backs now. Man, I don't like partnering McCaffrey with DJ Moore. I just might. DJ Moore, Lockett, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin. Man, I think I go DJ Moore. We're going to go DJ Moore. I will say I don't like pairing DJ Moore with Christian McCaffrey. I do already kind of regret that pick. Not a ton, but slightly. Now, I will say just pairing a running back with a wide receiver isn't the end of the day. And McCaffrey's going to get his regardless. You know what I mean? Like, I think DJ Moore can have a boom week at the same week as Christian McCaffrey. And in best ball, you want to stack. I will say running back 1 and wide receiver 1 isn't like a stack you want. You want like quarterback and a pass and some pass catchers. You know what I mean? But they do have some slight correlation where if the offense and Sam Darnold, they are legit, where they're going to score a lot of points, then that does make sense. And we have Lockett go here 306. I will say that was a very tough decision. I think that Cooper, Godwin, and McLaurin were all firmly in that conversation as well. It was just tough for me. Man, I think you could even make the case for A.J. Brown because week 6, I imagine that he's back by week 6. I almost wish I took A.J. Brown. Now, again, guys, this is my first one I'm ever doing. I'm probably going to run up a bunch of these before week 6 happens. So depending on how you guys like this video, let me know if you guys like this video, like me kind of looking at things. I think it is really interesting, to kind of just see where things are at, where like you can say, Mike Williams is now, his value is now the 301. This guy took him at the 301 over Calvin Ridley. Like if you went to a Mike Williams owner with your Calvin Ridley, could you get Mike Williams in return? Now, I think I probably still prefer Calvin Ridley, but it's interesting that the public sees that as close. And I think that it is. I think there is a conversation for sure. Now, hold up. Let me hydrate for a second. Curtis Samuel off injury reserve. I will say I've been disappointed with Dyami Brown. Now, he's a rookie. This happens. Like, not every rookie's just going to explode onto the scene. But it seems like because Dyami Brown hasn't flashed at all, that Curtis Samuel will probably just come in and be just fine. And Dyami Brown probably gets relegated to wide receiver 3. And I will say that I don't know if he comes out in 3 wide receiver sets when you have Adam Humphries there. Now, the problem is, like, McLaurin, pre-draft McLaurin probably would have been the clear guy at 305 here. Is McLaurin still available? No. So McLaurin goes. The problem with McLaurin now is that you have Taylor Heineke in there. And Taylor Heineke, has he even been good? Can we look that up? Oh, I just forgot that you guys can't actually see my search bar, which is amazing. You guys can see some other stuff though. All right, so what do we got? I was gonna look up like Taylor Heineke's like throwing stats aren't amazing. No, I will say I'm gonna get exposed to my search history, but you guys are my dogs. I really don't care. So he threw for 212. He threw for 336 versus the Giants. I mean, it's not Ryan Fitzpatrick, so it's not what we got sold on draft day, but is it super far off from what we were promised? Okay, also, my face has been in a bad spot on the screen this entire time. Again, fellas, please bear with me. That's my bad. Let me put myself in a better spot here. All right. So that was 4th round. We still haven't gotten a wide receiver. I will say, I think that we probably punt tight end. Man, like Kittle in the 4th round feels like a steal, but he's hurt again this week. He has like a million problems. He hasn't looked good. I mean, it's not that he hasn't looked good. He's obviously an elite football player. He blocks people. He can just maul them at times. Man, but I will say though, I think that there's a lot of overreacting here where we're actually getting a lot of wide receiver value here. Like Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, Mike Evans, like these guys you can kind of buy low on here in round 4. And my rule of thumb usually with these drafts is I don't like to detour from wide receiver too much because while we want to stack up those running backs early, we're going to get into some best ball strategy here. With these wide receivers, you want to win by quantity, but you also want to have like really good wide receivers so that you have quantity and you have good players in those spots. So you're not just, like at a certain point you need them to score points, I guess. So we have Hawk. We're going to be at pick 44 here. There's no way we go Mahomes. I will say Hawkinson is very, very firm in here. Pause. I will say Hawkinson's very firm as a guy that I would like to have at 44. Even though I'm not huge, man, I don't like... I will say, though, yeah, we're definitely going Hawk if we can, because I will say, in my opinion, I think that Hawkinson, after what he's done through 3 weeks, even though he was kind of a no-show last week, I think he probably deserves to be around here. Tight ends aren't super consistent. Question is, does this guy go Hawkinson? I want to say that this guy has Swift as well. Yes, we have Swift. I doubt he goes Hawkinson. We'll see, though. Hawkinson, Montgomery, Clyde. I think Montgomery is somewhat interesting. I think Clyde is somewhat interesting, so he goes Hawkinson. Do we go Woods? Do we go Allen Robinson? Do we go Thielen? I don't hate the idea of doing like David Montgomery. We saw him be crazy down the stretch last year. We're gonna go Woods. We're going to go Woods. I think that he bounces back. I would like to also, I think stacking that offense would be fun if we could go like Higbee and we can go like Matthew Stafford. Also, I don't know, my wrist looks really whack in that frame. I just now saw that my wrist like up here. So please, if you saw that part of the video, just erase it from your mind. I didn't like the way that my wrist looks there. I'll be honest with you guys. So Montgomery, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, for those of you guys that drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the second round, and I did. I drafted him the 301 in a spot. I drafted him in the 301 in one of my, I have 12 managed leagues. Which I'll be honest, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I think 12 might have been too much. I think I might have overdone it. Let me know down below how many leagues you guys are in. I gotta be honest, guys. Like, I love fantasy football. Prior to the season, I think that I was never in more than, I think I was in like maybe, so I'm trying to think. I was in like 1, 2, 3. I was in like maybe 4 seasonal leagues. I think last year I was in 3 seasonal leagues and 2 dynasty leagues. Now I'm in 12 seasonal leagues and 7 dynasty leagues. Yeah, I believe so. And I'll be honest, it's been a lot. It's been a lot to keep up with. I do think maybe in the future I'll keep things down to, maybe like 10 max between dynasty and redraft. It does just become a lot on top of like making videos and just like, it gets to a point now where I have so many players across so many teams that like when I'm watching games, like I kind of just root for the guys I have higher ownership exposure to. That's really all it comes down to. And my home league, because my home league just bragging rights and shit. So we have Allen Robinson, Darrell Henderson. So he takes Allen Robinson. Man. So we have Woods. Probably go wide receiver here. I don't like Julio at this point. I think I'd probably go T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins will probably be fine by week 6. Oh, man. Kyle Pitts is interesting in the 5th. We're going to go T. Let's see if one of those tight ends can make it back to us. I don't think that they will. But if Pitts or Andrews makes it back to us, we'll take them. Now, I will say I actually am fairly bullish on Kyle Pitts rest of season. He looked really good. He's been getting the targets, the air yards. I think he lined up at like 78% of his snaps last week as a wide receiver. He's getting to this scary spot at this point. Actually, we're going to go on Twitter. I think Twitter is a great spot. So I don't have to get exposed in my search history. I don't have to So I'm just gonna have that set up so everything's all right. So I can just look at on there. Now, if I bring out a new window on this monitor, what does that do to the stream? All right, so the stream's fine. All right, so we have Corlyn Sutton go, Julio. I mean, like Corlyn Sutton has been good, and I probably have him as a top 24 wide receiver. I just would be much more comfortable with that selection. Jeez. I'd be much more comfortable with that selection in the 6th. All right, so now we have that set up in case we want to look something up on a player. So Kyle Pitts. Let me see what the timeline's saying on Kyle Pitts. Now this is going to be extremely slow. We'll just go Pitts. Damn. Okay, fine. People you follow. Oh, let me put these down here. Jesus. Exposing my DMs. Nice by David and Njoku on this list. That's interesting. I would love to know. So Kelsey's first 3 games, 10 receptions, 166 yards, a touchdown. So this is more dynasty, I imagine. As a wide receiver for more snaps this season. So Kyle Pitts is lined up as a wide receiver for more snaps this season than Ronda Moore, only 5 less than Christian Kirk. That's pretty crazy. But I have him in, I want to say 2 of 7 dynasty leagues. Now, what was I going to say? Now, Kyle Pitts, how many more snaps does he need to take at wide receiver before they say, you know what, like we're done giving this guy tight end eligibility? I think that could be in the cards now. Oh, man. I think one more? Jeez, I've been sneezing a lot. I've been sneezing a lot lately, fellas. Now, I think Antonio Brown in the 6 is actually a big steal. Because I think Antonio Brown, if you did a draft after like week 1, right? Did he play week 2, Antonio Brown? If you did a draft after week 1, Antonio Brown's probably a 4th round pick. Now, obviously, yes, that hype should die down, and 6 rounds sounds about right. But I think part of him settling down is like having COVID and not playing. I imagine by week 6, when this thing kicks off, he should be good to go. Probably a similar bet than what you would have made after week 2 or after week 1. So I think 6th round for AJ Brown and Antonio Brown, when we already saw a peak that he could go off for games. His ADP pre-draft was like 65, now that I think about it. So you're getting him for a really good price there, I think. Claypool is honestly making me extremely frustrated, and it's not even Claypool's fault. I think that Claypool is a great player. And he's a very talented wide receiver, dude. It's just like Ben Roethlisberger is so cooked at this point, man. It's so tough to watch. I know you guys saw that play. It's like 4th and 10. They send all the wide receivers out, and Ben Roethlisberger does a check down to the running back swing on 4th and 10. And I've been wrong on Naji, but Naji's not going to make like 4 guys miss and get a first down on a halfback swing route. No matter, like nobody, like that should never be the play call. That should never be the read. Like I think that they were down 2. Like they were down bad at that point. Just throw an arm punt. I know that Ben Roethlisberger has done that in the past. Man, 6th round Mark Andrews is getting very interesting, guys. I'll be honest with you. Oh, man. I will say, though, guys, I think we're going to wait on tight end. As much as I do think that Mark Andrews is kind of a value here. I mean, Bateman comes back. Oh, jeez. So, Devonta Smith is who I would have taken. So, when is our next pick? 77. Will Stafford fall there? Maybe. I like Boyd. I like Higbee. I like Stafford. Let's go Stafford and secure that stack. Let's secure that stack. Oh man, 6th round for Stafford is too rich for me. We're gonna go Andrews. I think it just makes the most sense. It makes the most sense. He was a like 4th, 5th rounder. I want to say, come on, can the Twitter timeline say something nice to me about Mark Andrews? I could have sworn that he ran a lot of routes. People were really happy about what he did this week. Mark. Come on. He's 4th in expected PPR points. That's good. Spend it on any of the I mean, he's running a lot of routes. Arrows up on Mark Andrews, was clear out guy early. Marquise Brown capitalized. Now roles reversed. They'll play off of each other. I don't know, man. Mark Andrews is a really tough eval for me. Really tough. I will also say, where has Matthew Stafford been? My question is, where has Matthew Stafford been as a fantasy quarterback? Like, where is he right now? Let me bring that screen up again real quick. I think it would help to show like the current leaders in fantasy scoring. Jeez. All right, there we go. So we're 3 picks away. Oh, not linebacker. Please, not linebacker. Okay, quarterback. Matthew Stafford's the quarterback 7 ahead of guys like Russ. Okay. He's doing all right. I could be down for Matthew Stafford. I'm not taking Jacobs, Edmonds. I think Edmonds is actually kind of interesting in the 7th round here. I just don't believe that we need a running back yet. Going to running back straight up, I think that we can kind of wait till the double-digit rounds to go that route. Now, I will say, man, I wish I could have gone Devonta Smith. I'm actually high enough on Devonta Smith that I think that he is a really nice play here. After the first 2 weeks, I kind of saw him as a top 24 wide receiver. Had a quieter week 3, but the volume has been there. He's looked pretty good. All right, so Pittman goes. Man, so I think we have no choice but to take Stafford and stack him with Robert Woods. I think we have no choice there. I wish we could have stacked him with Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee's price is kind of outrageous right there. If we go, I like going Stafford here because then we can kind of just worry about wide receiver and running back for a while. I'm down to really, kick the can down the road on quarterback 2 and tight end 2 at this point. We need to load up on wide receivers here, which is going to be tough because I don't like a lot of these guys. I mean, a lot of these guys are like post-type sleepers kind of. Like Kenny Golladay around pick 100, Robbie Anderson. Like a lot of these guys are actually kind of solid. Sterling Shepard, Wolf Fuller at pick 113. Now, maybe I'm holding on to my priors too much. I will say, man, did this guy, if you guys don't follow him already, this guy is a million times smarter than me. A million times smarter. Adam Harstad is like one of the sharpest dudes I've ever followed on Twitter. I don't really know what his story is. What is going on here? Why can't I just look up Harstad? From anyone. There it is. Oh, so it's not 2As. I don't know why I assumed it was 2As. So, man. Because he had a really good, man. He tweets too much. He tweets too much for me to show this. Anyways, he had a really good article that he linked in a tweet. I wish I had it for you guys. Damn it! Why did I X out of Twitter? But he had a really good tweet where he was saying that I want to say the information that you get through 3 weeks of fantasy football is about as accurate as preseason ADP. So, as much as we've been shown so far, it is as important, if not less important, than our preseason assumptions, because we're only dealing with a 3-game sample size here, if that makes sense. So it's not too early to kind of still stick with your guns on what you thought preseason. Now, once we get to like week 6, that's when it starts to, let's take into account what has happened here. But it is important not to, you don't want to flip-flop on things. I will say, round 8, I'm actually kind of interested in Mike Davis and Myles Gaskin. I'll be completely honest there. Now, I will say, dude, Ronda Moore, that's about where we were drafting him, pick 90, preseason. And he's done a lot more. And Jalen Hurts is still this low. Where's Jalen Hurts in terms of QB scoring? He's the QB4. If I had known that you could get Jalen Hurts in round 8 or 9, I wouldn't have taken Matthew Stafford, to be straight up with you guys. That's ridiculous. That's genuinely ridiculous. I still don't understand the disrespect. Like, are they going to bench him for Deshaun Watson? Like, what is the scenario where he does not play a full 17 games without injury? I also like Judy. I know he's hurt, but isn't he supposed to be back by week 6, I believe? Let me pull up Twitter again. Man, I'm going to screw around and have my whole PC collapse. Jesus Christ. I swear to God, if all right, so this is still counting down. I might have just screwed myself over here. If I have to redo this whole video, I'm going to be absolutely enraged. I will be honest with you guys. I think I know what has to be done. I might have to just quit out of Google Chrome, which wouldn't be the end of the world. I might even have to make this pick on my phone. All right, so we're going to quit out of Google Chrome. Jesus Christ. I think we're going to have to make this pick on my phone. All right, so my PC is like kind of frozen here, but we're going to fix this. We're going to make this pick on my phone. We are going to go with Jerry Judy. All right, so Jerry Judy is now locked in. Things are actually starting to clear up here for a second. All right, so we're gonna force quit everything besides my streaming software, and then we're gonna be all right. All right. Then we'll just bring it up again. Let me just get you guys to the full screen for a second here. Give me a second to set this back up. That's my bad, guys. I was doing too much on the screen, so things froze, but I'm happy that I recovered there. Now again, we're gonna be fine. Pick's not up yet. We'll get Twitter going. We'll get the draft going. Again, I made that pick, Jerry Judy. Now, Jerry Judy in the 8th, I mean, he was going like early 5th earlier on. It does seem like by week 6 he should be back. Now maybe he has some ramp up time. All right, so I think we're good to go now. There we go. So let's go to active. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we're actually one pick away here. So we went Judy. We're probably just going to hammer more wide receivers. I don't like Ruggs. I think Robbie Anderson is somewhat interesting. Will Fuller is really interesting, but I kind of want to see if we can wait on him. Man, I would have maybe gone Fant if we didn't go Mark Andrews there. Quarterback isn't happening. I mean, Robbie Anderson, we can't do Robbie Anderson at this point. Trey Sermon, Robbie Anderson, Emmanuel Sanders, Jacoby Myers. So Ruggs would have maybe been my pick there. So you like Fournette. Jesus Christ, we got that one close. So Fournette will be our running back 3. He's actually been kind of clean recently. What did we draft him at? What's his ADP? Or like RB 30 something? I think I was looking at, geez. Can I not even look? Why not? Regardless, I think I drafted him at what, like RB 30, 33 at the absolute earliest, or 34 at the absolute earliest. But I'm a big, like, I'm not a huge fan of Leonard Fournette, but he is probably, I think that I had him ranked. I did a small sweep of the rest of season rankings today. I think he ended up like around RB 28, if I'm correct there. He should be like a fringe top 24 running back. If you can get him in round 9, I like what he does there. And then we can really wait on RB4 here. We can really wait on RB4. We desperately need to stack up more wide receivers. I just felt like Sterling Shepard, DJ Chark, Will Fuller, a lot of these guys are kind of in the same tier as each other. Wow, Michael Gallup, Rashad Bateman. There is some value to be had at wide receiver because the position's so volatile. We did this. This is just kind of overarching on the rest of the season, but we did this research in the offseason. We found that wide receivers are extremely volatile. Wide receivers week to week, none of them are consistent. Like everyone, the whole idea is that we're debunking myths in the fantasy football space, and one of them was, fade Tyler Lockett because he's not going to give you consistent usable weeks. Here's the problem with that. There's 2 problems with that. Wide receivers week to week as a whole, besides like the top 3, outside of like Devontae Adams last year and Stephon Diggs, no one was consistent. No one, even like wide receiver 8, wide receiver 9, wide receiver 10, none of those guys were consistently finishing, inside of the top 24 wide receivers. None of these wide receivers have consistent floors because they're not like running backs. Even if they get targets, they can beat their guy down the field, make a huge play, and their quarterback can miss them by a few inches, and then boom, there's that. But running backs, they're locked into their touches. They're much more consistent week to week. And what happens is that you can go 3 weeks without seeing a good week, and then by week 17, player X is a fine play. He just had 3 straight weeks of running cold. It's just it is kind of luck based at a certain point. Now who do we got? Trey Sermon. I think Trey Sermon in the 10th round is actually very interesting. I was thinking about him or Leonard Fournette. I will say I wish I had more wide receivers on this team. I always wish I had more wide receivers. That's just the way it is. Hold on, let me clean my glasses real quick. I feel like my glasses are super dusty today. I also struggle to keep them clean, struggle to keep them in their case, just a mess. Now here's the question of the day. How do I keep my glasses so crystal clean? Well, with this product right here, psych. Y'all thought I was going to do a little plug there? And also, no, these are not like Felix Gray, like the blue light stuff that I know a lot of people have out there. These are prescription glasses because I genuinely am not blind, but without glasses, I'm pretty rough. Probably shouldn't be driving without glasses on is where I'm at in terms of my ability to see things far away. Like if you tell me to read like a road sign without my glasses on, like 20 feet away, it's not happening, brother. All right, so what are we looking at? We're at pick 116. Robert Tonyan, who's been super, super disappointing so far. Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill. That's a decent price on Ryan Tannehill. Because I assume that Julio and A.J. Brown will be fine by the time the season starts again. Or by the time this starts up in week 6. Obviously, the season's still going on. So we have DJ Chark, we have Sterling Shepard. No one knows what just happened to DJ Chark. So I think we have no choice but oh, man, that's a really good price on Sony Michel, dude. That's a really good price on Sony. All right, let's go Sony. I didn't even think that Sonya would be there. Wow, A.J. Dillon, man. There's a lot of really good late-round gems that, like, because there's a lack of consensus, these are guys that I would have higher than that. I think, he was RB 38? I think Sony Michel's in the conversation for top 30 running back as well. Because he could just straight up beat out Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson could keep on dealing with these injuries that he has dealt with in the past. He could, just even challenge Darrell Henderson and carve out a little bit of a role, kind of how Darrell Henderson had with, like, Malcolm Brown or Malcolm Brown to Darrell Henderson. So I actually don't hate that. Now, it's rare that you'll see me do that at running back and rattle off 4 like that with only having 4 wide receivers. But we are going to pray that we can just kind of win with quantity over quality at wide receiver. Just hope that Woods brings us to the promised land. He bounced back. DJ Moore stays as a locked and loaded RB1 or wide receiver 1. Again, we do have McCaffrey on this team. So as long as McCaffrey is, back and healthy, he should be fine. So I'd be shocked if he didn't play week 6, right? Because he's missing this week, which is week 4. He's missing next week, which is week 5. That's like 3 weeks since he injured his hamstring on Thursday night. So that was 10 days. So it's like 24 days of recovery from then until that Sunday game. So I'd be shocked. Now DJ Chark's injury, do we even know what Chark's injury is? Can we can we sneak this in before we're up? From any of the injury people, please. From any of the injury people. From any of the injury people, please. God damn it. All right, so what can we do? Nicole Hardman, Jarvis Landry, Darnell Mooney, Trey Lance. Man, this is kind of McCole Hardman, like, isn't a terrible pick territory. Man, I don't know how long Jarvis Landry is going to be out. Please make that Jarvis. Thank you, God. Can somebody... I need... So I probably should have had this pulled up. Man, that Jarvis pick could be really bad depending on how long he's out for. I can't imagine it's too long. I can't. Man, so he had a really good timetable. He had a really good timetable that he posted. Where could that be? Oh man, so he posts too often for me to find this. He had it pinned for a little bit. Now I know that maybe it's not as updated as he'd like it to be, but I still would like to see it. Can we find it? Please. Please. I'll only do a little bit more scrolling, but he has a really good sheet where he pinned down his profile where it showed like who he expects to be back by when, if that makes sense. Man, I don't think we're going to find it. I think he just tweets too often. So he does have a link in his profile that is pretty good that I've seen. Where maybe we can just control F Jarvis Landry. We can see what's good. Because, I mean, Jarvis Landry is like a fine wide receiver, too, if he's healthy. Jarvis Landry, MCL. Well, it says week 6. That's when this thing starts up. I'm not too in my bag about it now. If he's expected for week 6. All right, so Sam Darnold would be a really fun stack if we can get that at pick 140. It'd be a little bit past his ADP. We have 2 quarterbacks, 1 quarterback, 1 quarterback. We need him to really fall past these 2. I will say, I mean, Fields and Trey Lance feels pretty low here, but it does make sense. Oh, jeez. That Chark injury is going to stare me down. Does anybody know what the Chark injury is? Like, it's probably not good if I'm going to be honest with you guys. Obviously, it's not good, but is there any... Apparently, Chark getting injured caused... Is there anybody? Is there any doctor out there? Who knows? Who knows how long DJ Chark will be out? It's probably too early to tell anyways. So we'll go Darnold here. If Darnold is gone, geez, Trey Lance, Baker Mayfield. If Darnold is gone, AJ Green, Marcus Valdez-Scantling. Oh man, it gets ugly. I mean, Terrace Marshall. I'll take Terrace Marshall. That would actually be really fun to stack that with Darnold. If we can go Darnold, we can go Terrace Marshall the next round. I still haven't given up hope on Terrace Marshall, man. Like I said, with that McCaffrey injury, he might really step into a new role here. At this point, I'm pretty much just on my... Oh, man, Michael Carter? That's a solid... I feel like that's solid value for him, too. Much as I don't even like Michael Carter in the 12th. I think the lesson I'm learning here is maybe I should have gone 0 RB. But I will say, I feel like there's just a lot of value to be had in that round 8 to round 12 range. Because it's just basically whoever you like. Because Michael Carter, I believe that he was taking... Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding. You must be kidding. Must be kidding that he would take Sam Darnold right there. All right, this has to be Terrace Marshall. This is a slight reach on Terrace Marshall, but he's my guy. Has to happen. So we go Terrace Marshall. We stack him with DJ Moore. We have Christian McCaffrey in there. So we're pretty much going to just get like a quarterback, a tight end, and just fill out the rest of our wide receivers. Now, I've made a video in the past on, just kind of best ball strategy in general. I think if you just look up like Ron Stewart underdog on YouTube, it'll come up. But I usually like to go 2, 4, 10, 2. There's 18 rounds, or I like to go in terms of quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. I like to go 2, 4, 10, 2. I like to go 2, 5, 9, 2, and I like to go 2, 6, 8, 2. All centered around 2, 4, 10, 2 means you went 2 running backs early. So that's like bimodal RB. If you do hero RB, I go 2, 5, 9, 2. And if you go 0 RB, I go 2, 6, 8, 2. So for whatever that's worth, fellas. Now I do like Trevor Lawrence as like a late round quarterback here. We kind of have to be picky here. Do we have anybody that, man, Darnold would have made a ton of sense, man. So Baker isn't an option. We might just go Fields. And unstacked Fields has a lot of... Fields is 100% at the front of our list of things that we want. What does the tight end landscape look like once we get to a certain point? So Evan Ingram I'm still cool with. So we're actually good on tight end. We will go Fields if he's available to us. We will go to Deshaun Jackson if he makes it to us as well. I actually don't mind I don't mind AJ. No, I do mind AJ Green, but I don't mind Deshaun Jackson. Trevor Lawrence, okay, we're still in the running for Fields. This guy already has 2 quarterbacks. So I will say, I think Rager is interesting. I think Elijah Moore is interesting. I think Watkins is interesting. All right, so we're going to go Fields. We're getting Fields 12 picks past ADP, and he has insane upside. Again, I think that it's wrong to judge him after literally 1 start. He would still be, for me, probably a top 18, top 20 quarterback in fantasy. I mean, where did I just draft him at? Who's behind him as a quarterback? Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback 22. So quarterback 21 is the price you just paid for Fields. His floor for me is like Jalen Hurts, where, now obviously not QB4, but just he's going to get... I mean, Matt Nagy is really going to challenge my conviction, but I do think that he is going to be in a spot where he gets comfortable in the offense, and he just has a certain rushing floor that's really good. 60, I think maybe 60 yards rushing is a little bit ambitious, but 30 yards a game isn't bad rushing. And if there's a little bit more risk in best ball when you do that, because he might never start another game, because it seems like Andy Dalton is kind of up in the air if they're going to play Andy Dalton this week, even though he was literally hurt. What do we got? So Jonnu Smith, Teddy Bridgewater, Kenyon Drake, Dalton Schultz. I wonder, is Blake Jarwin still available? I will also say, let me know if it's annoying. I have, I guess I don't have, but I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just a natural person that likes to kind of bounce my leg up and down. I feel like it might be annoying that the chair does shake at times. So I decided in my head I'm going to stop doing that. Moving on. We have Hooper, Gerald Everett, Devontae Parker. Again, I don't really Devontae Parker, Aguilar. Man, wide receiver is getting really nasty here. I would say everything's getting nasty, though. Quez Watkins is still available. What, did I see Komet somewhere? I think Komet is actually not a terrible late round stack with Justin Fields. I still do have some hope in the Cole Komet breakout. I do think that he was a fine prospect. I think he took some snaps out, not out wide, but like he's been taking snaps out wide in the slot. I like him as a prospect. I mean, if the offense, like, there is a world where they figure it out to a degree where someone can be fantasy relevant, because not even Allen Robinson is. I mean, he's fantasy relevant, but he's not giving you startable weeks, I guess is how I would put that. So we have Aguilar, Hooper, Gerald Everett, James White. James White should not even be here. Apparently, he had a season-ending hip injury, which sucks so bad because I have him in a good amount of places, and he looked like a good 0 RB play for a second. Hate to see it. Running backs are fragile, even the ones you pick late. A lesson I learned there. So Cole Kmet is not getting picked for a while. I think Elijah Moore is the very easy pick here. And I know I'm stacking up, so I already have Terrace Marshall, right? But these rookie wide receivers every year have shown to have really good win rates in these tournaments because on the back end of the year, they get more snaps, they get more targets, they get more volume as the year goes on. These Gronkowski just got listed as doubtful. That's interesting. But what was I going to say? But yeah, so these rookie wide receivers, even if they have a disappointing start, this is kind of what you signed up for. The whole idea with rookie wide receivers is they get better as the year goes on. Or not even better, but they see more volume, they're more efficient, they score more points. We have Everett. Yeah, so I will go Elijah Moore. If not Elijah Moore, I mean, like, KJ Osborne is, like, kind of interesting. All right, so we'll go Elijah Moore. I also do, I think Evan Ingram is too late. We're going to go, with this next pick, we'll go Evan Ingram or we'll go Cole Kmet. Our wide receivers are just going to be, it's just probably going to be 3 straight dart throws, which is tough. We're going to have to hit on something. I don't know why I'm extra thirsty today. So what do we have coming here? Chark, James White, Matt Ryan, KJ Osborne, Evan Ingram, Jameis Winston. God, it's ugly. Gabriel Davis, Quez Watkins. Those are guys where you just draft them and hope for a long touchdown, which I guess is kind of just the range that we're at this point. Man, I mean, now we're just in a part of the draft where what we have around 15, 16, 17, 18. We're out here grinding. So we are just at a spot where, Matt Ryan has been tough. Where's Matt Ryan ranking at this point? I think he'd probably be like outside my top 20 quarterbacks. Oof. Quarterback 25, averaging 14 points per game. Man, Aaron Rodgers has been bad. I wonder, where did Aaron Rodgers go? Let me get some grid format going. I know that you guys are probably going to hate that we haven't been grid like this entire time, now that I think about it. Maybe we'll grid out the rest of this, and we'll kind of talk about the picks that have been made, because there's not much going on this late in the draft, I'll be honest. So what? Odell Beckham. What was I looking for? Where's Aaron Rodgers going? So pick 80. It still seems, that's kind of where he was going. Wow, Derek Carr in the 9th round feels, I guess it would feel high, but the quarterbacks haven't been great this year. And I think that there is something there, because I have heard that last year was like a really rare year in terms of fantasy point scoring, because you had COVID and the defenses didn't get ready. I want to say I've seen comparisons from that year to the lockout. What was that, like 2007? I don't know when the lockout was, but there was a lockout, and it was compared because the defenses were bad. And I guess when you have like less time to prepare, it kind of sets up for like an offensive, boom of a season. So we go Cole Kmet there. Is anybody saying anything positive about Cole Kmet? Can anybody sell me on Kmet here? Go Kmet versus Lions. I also this guy Andrew Cooper is like a pretty good follow in terms of tight ends. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to tight ends. I want to know if he has anything like definitive. Kmet last week with Fields, 95% snap share, 87% route participation, 50% of his snaps at wide receiver, 20% target share. I'm in. I'm sold. Say no more, brother. Say no more. 20% target share is nice, man. How weird. I actually had somebody in my Discord. I just had somebody in my Discord ask me who, by the way, if you want to join the Discord or whatever, it's down below in the description. Somebody just asked me who's the tight end whisperer from Twitter, and it's a really weird coincidence that I was just looking at his account. It's all right, so I'll send it to him real quick. At Coop A Fiasco. I'm giving this guy a whole free shout out. I don't think that me and him aren't even that close. He doesn't really know who I am, but I do like him in terms of like tight end evaluations. He's pretty good. All right, so what do we got? Round 15. So now we are just hammering wide receiver the rest of the way. Man. Diami Brown kind of gets interesting here at the back end. DJ Chark, Zach Pascal, Russell Gage, T.Y. Hilton. I wish I went wide receiver earlier, man. If I could do it again. Where are we at? So pick 5. So McCaffrey for sure. I think maybe instead of JT, I don't mind going McCaffrey JT. DJ Moore, Robert Woods, T. Higgins. Maybe this should have been, I don't know. This shouldn't have been anybody else, to be honest. It was just who was there. I think maybe instead of Stafford, we could have gone Boyd, though. Maybe go Boyd there, Judy. Maybe this should have been like Will Fuller. I don't know, man. Wide receivers dry up fast. As much as people think that like wide receivers are abundant later on, and I guess like it's a little bit of a different conversation now that we are so far into the season. Like, look, once you get to like round 10, I guess it's like more even, but I was going to say like a lot of running backs do get taken in this range. Jeez, the wide receivers are so ugly. I mean, everything's ugly. But like I said, you want to have like stud wide receivers. Like I don't know if this is enough. You want to have stud wide receivers so that your flex spots, so 3 wide receiver spots and a flex spot. So that's 4 wide receivers you can start every week. You can only start running backs, you can only start 3 every week. So if you can have 4 stud wide receivers you can put in flex, 3 wide receivers. Now obviously you don't put them there, but like they just have the highest scoring points. If they can be there, then you're pretty much winning at that point. All right. What are we at? Russell Gage, T.Y. Hilton, KJ Hamler, Darius Slayton. Man. I guess, fuck it, Kadarius Toney. Jesus Christ, it's ugly at wide receiver. Oh, man. I mean, these guys are all hurt. Like, T.Y. Hilton is hurt. KJ Hamler tore his ACL. Paris Campbell, I don't know when he's coming back. Darius Slayton is hurt. And I know Toney is a whack pick there. Look, we are deep. I just had to take a rookie just swinging for the fences is really all I can say about that pick. The Giants wider. There is a world out there, a galaxy brain world where these Giants wide receivers are going down like they are. Slayton went down. I think Slayton and Sterling Shepard aren't playing this week. I know Colin Johnson saw his snaps, but maybe, just maybe, they spend a first-round pick. Maybe they get him some work. I mean, for him to pay off at pick 188, we just need, like, decent usage. Maybe get him in on a goal line package where, you use him as the Percy Harvin. I just can't believe so far, like, does anybody have a good Kadarius Toney tweet? It is crazy that they spent that high. They spent a first-round pick on this guy for him to just never be used, bro. It's insane. Is there anything? Shallowest depth of target, minus 0.2 ADOT. Man, these wide receivers are chalked. Khalif Raymond, Alan Lazard. I mean, Alan Lazard, is he... Can I look at I guess we'll just look at fantasy point leaders at this point. Because these wide receivers are so deep, I don't even know what to think. I'm not even ranking wide receivers this far. What are we working with right now? Like wide receiver 80? Renfro or any of these guys' names that stick out? Cephas. Oh no, Cephas can't be available still. Kendrick Bourne, Rager, Van Jefferson, Slayton. Is Slayton still available? Oh man, I don't want to double up on those receivers. Deshaun Jackson, McCole Hardman, Slayton, Watkins. Dude, Braxton Barrios. I mean, I know that he has been good. Dude, we will take a Braxton Barrios. Maybe last pick of the draft. Is there anything that would stack with... No, nothing interesting that stacks with either of them as like last round picks. Kendrick Bourne is like interesting. Freddie Swain is interesting. I think I might take Russell Gage. When is Russell Gage coming back? Russell Gage is probably coming back soon, if I'm remembering correctly. He should be back soon. He's out. What are we saying, NBC Sports Edge? Please, when is he coming back? When is he coming back? He has to be coming back by week 6. I don't know what his injury is, but this will be Gage's second missed game with an ankle injury. He was replacing the slap by Elmi Zacchaeus. Gage's absence also coincided. We're just going to go Gage if he's there. We'll go Gage, and he gets picked. Pringle, Khalif Raymond. Good God. Marcus Robinson. All right, so we're going to go Byron Pringle. Then we'll wrap this up with Braxton Barrios. The wide receivers got ugly quick, guys. The wide receivers got really ugly. I will be honest. These are not the wide receivers I would have hoped for. And I will be honest. Again, this is my first. I literally have not done a single practice draft of one of these. So please, this is not like my dream team. This is honestly just me messing around and kind of getting a feel for the draft. And let's go back and kind of look at the board here for a second. So Swift at 19. I wish that we could have gone Swift there. Mike Williams at the 301 feels like a reach. Jamar Chase at 35 over Chris Godwin. I love Jamar Chase as the next guy, but that's a little bit too rich for me. But Jamar Chase has been great, but he's kind of gotten a lot of this production off of touchdowns, to be real with you guys. Jamar Chase, Godwin, Debo, Josh Allen, Debo, Kittle, Mike Evans, Kareem Hunt. Just looking to see if anything kind of stands out. Allen Robinson at 52 just feels wrong, but we have Pollard in the 7th round. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a Pollard guy, but I think Pollard in the 7th round is a little bit outrageous. And I said this in the video that I put up the other day. He has really only had one usable week, to be honest with you guys. As much as I'm 100% ride with Tony Pollard till I die, that pick has been great. It's paid off so far. But I guess 7th round. I think I'd probably take Mike Davis over him. Now that I'm looking, I'd probably take Mike Davis over him. I'd definitely take Ayuk. I guess this is the spot for Tony Pollard. I guess it's just coming to terms with like these new prices and just being like, yeah, that's like what you have to pay now. You know what I mean? Because I got so used to in draft season getting Tony Pollard like 9th, 10th round. I guess there were times where, he was like pick like 105 in ADP if I can remember. So like around here. Cordell Patterson, Naeem Hines. Cordell Patterson being a 9th rounder now. Laviska Shenault in the 9th round feels, with the DJ Chark injury, dude, he looked good last week. Last night. And I'll be honest with you guys, as a Laviska Shenault truther, what he has done so far has been hurtful. It's been hurtful, man. Take that one on the chin. I'll take that one on the chin. It happens. Hand up. Happens to the best of us. Now, no one is out here getting 100% of their picks right, though. So, you literally, you can't, I have people in the comments oh, you touted Laviska Shenault, so why should I trust you, bro? First of all, you don't have to trust. No one is forcing you to watch these videos, so you don't have to trust me. But I could just never take a stand on anybody. I could just gas up everybody, say I think then just be lukewarm on everybody. You know what I mean? And just kind of be more informative and tell you, okay, this is what this player is, what to expect from him this season, whatever. But not actually give a firm take on I think that this player is going to perform better than his ADP, or I really like this player because of reason X. And it's so early in the season, man. He was used really well last night. DJ Chark went down. Kind of does open some things up for him now. Obviously, the thesis wasn't DJ Chark getting hurt. So the success that if he does become great, our process was a little bit wonky there because obviously we can't account for that injury, which means so if the event happens where Laviska Shenault is now a top 24 wide receiver, the process wasn't super sound because of the injury, if that makes sense. You want to make sure that whatever route you took to liking a player, that is how that panned out. With Naji Harris, if you thought they draft a running back 1st round, they're going to run the ball a lot more, he's going to be fine. I don't believe that the offensive line is a problem. That's how he's going to win. He's just going to win off of talent. In my opinion, you were probably wrong there. Your process was probably wrong because what ended up happening is he's inefficient. He's getting a lot of volume, but he's really turning the corner right now because of the volume he's getting in the targets. And first of all, we didn't expect him to get that many targets because One, the other side of the argument thought that they were going to slow things down on offense, and two, they have like probably the best three after like the Buccaneers, like one of the best like wide receiver trios in the league. Now, how did he play after? So just weeks 1 and 2, where was Naji? Damn, is this not going to do what I wanted to do? You hate to see it. You hate to see it. So the draft is over. I just want to kind of see. I could be completely wrong. There we go. So through 2 weeks in half PPR. Where was Naji? So Naji was running back 21 with 11 points in each game. And I'm not saying he's an awful pick, because now I think that with the wide receivers getting hurt and Ben Roethlisberger being cooked, so he's going to check down more, I don't think that anybody thought that he was going to get, like, I think that he might be in play now for like 80 plus targets, which if I knew that, I was expecting more in like the, you know, Joe Mixon, Ezekiel Elliott range of like maybe like 40 to 60 targets, but now he's in that range of having a crazy amount of targets, which means that he is a good pick now. But I'm rambling. But if your process was they're going to run the ball more and he's going to be efficient, then you were wrong, but you got the right result. You know, you got process over results. All right, fellas. That's going to do it for us today. As always, I love you guys. Let me know how you guys like this video. I kind of liked it, you know, just to kind of talk about players across the league and their kind of rest of season outlooks. As always, you can find my rest of season rankings, weekly rankings, waiver wire fab, all that good stuff down below, patreon.com/Ron Stewart. If you're new to Underdog and you want to hop on the platform to get in on this action on the Best Ball Resurrection, use my promo code RON when you deposit $10 or more for a $10 bonus. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, geez, I think that it's still going.